After a good stiff walk in the rain through the Borgia Gardens from the gallery, Borgia Gallery, I finally arrived at Via Giulia, which is Julius Caesar's villa. I don't know if it really was or not, I'm guessing it was. And right next to the remnant of the old Roman wall. It was a mighty big wall, and a long one. This is the Tiber River. I don't know if it's full flood, but it's pretty well flooded from the recent rains. All the banks and the side areas seem to be flooded, carrying a lot of debris with it. Some kind of bird stacked up in that tree there. Just a neighborhood of older high-rise or apartment house units overlooking Julius's villa. I took the stairs up to the top of the wall, which is where I am. And then, but looking across past the villa, I see that there are arches there that look very old. Whether they protected his villa or were just decoration, I don't know. But it looks like there's some kind of wall system there. It doesn't look like it's necessarily ancient. I don't know what this area is up behind and to the right of Julius's house or villa, but it's being restored by the Rome community. And you can see right here just a little hint over the wall of some more arches, as though it were a building or a walkway with shops or something. And then there's that entrance that you see there, and there's another something or other back up in here. Can't make out what it is. And here nearby is the name of some other villa, probably in the process of restoration. But I wonder if the area around Julius at his time was surrounded, if you will, by other villas, by other important people. It would kind of make sense. You can see the remains of a couple more walls or building walls or retaining walls. They look like they're different, maybe different times or styles. Given the substantial size of this entryway, I'm guessing it went to another important place next to Julius's. I'm in the Etruscan Museum in Rome, and the only place I can use my video is on the outside, so I will. This would have been apparently Julius's villa, an impressive place. Love those pine trees. They seem like natural umbrellas. I wonder if Julius had to climb these stairs. He was a pretty rugged man. Who knows if in his older years he had severe knee problems or not. Just to clarify, this is the villa of Pope Julius the something or other. Again, an example of how Martin Luther and Savonarola had it right. The popes had become a mockery of everything the church was supposed to stand for. Certainly everything that Jesus Christ stood for. I guess the ceiling is designed to give the appearance of some kind of an arbor. Today we would fill it in with glass and call it a greenhouse. Notice the beautiful interplay of columns, arches. I'm at the Flaminio metro access point, and this is the Roman wall, and this is an impressive entryway through the wall. Presumably it's an old one. Pontifex Max. That was the name of the emperor until the Pope used it. I've just visited the Cappuccino, I think it's called, Cappuccino, something like that, crypt, and had some postcards on it. But a couple of my reflections after being in, at first you're kind of caught by the morbidity of it, the almost ghastliness of it, although it's done with art. It was done with religious reverence and purpose, so I don't take anything from it, away from it. But it raises two questions. Why does a culture bury or deal with remains of human bodies as they do? And number two, why do individuals do it the way we do? Sometimes the two are in mesh. Sometimes I don't think they are. I'm on the Via Veneto. I have just started up from the Capuchin crypts. And this is the street when I was here 40 years ago was the place to see and to be seen, where movie stars strolled and the wealthy sat in cafes, and where a young man of 28 met two girls and had a little bit of a fun evening. Still on the Via Veneta, I'm looking at what now are enclosed outside cafes, probably in anticipation of milking something out of this kind of weather. And in the shops nearby, I'm sure expensive, elegant, and all that implies. The wealthy. You can see this goes on quite a little ways. So only one of the few reflections I have from 40 years ago is having walked and seen. I can remember just a bit of imagery of this. And backdrop is another chunk of the Great Roman Wall. And I believe that's the entry, one more entry into the Borghese Gardens and Villa. Just come down into what is the metro system. I think what the metro has is at each station there's this whole web of fingers that shoot out to different places so that you can walk from those places to the terminal and get the tram. There's something futuristic about this, but perhaps only to a country boy from Jackson. In fact, this is where I was yesterday, because this is the grocery store that is at the end of the routing that Vic Steves gives to get to Via Borghese galleries. Depending upon where you're going, these things sometimes go on and on, one after another. It's interesting, as I go off on other little adventures here in Rome, I end up finding myself at the same places I've been before. On reflection, I'm wrong, surprise. I want to go back where I was and walk through there, and that's where I think Via Corso. Now standing under that initial arch, that is Basilica de Popolo, one of the obelisks that the Romans stole from the Egyptians and then Christianized with their cross.